Let's make Chicken Meatball Mulligatawny Soup. This is the soup to make during a snowstorm. It takes a little time to prepare, but think about it as a lengthy aromatherapy session. We're going to kick things off by making the meatballs, so start by peeling and mincing a clove of garlic and set it aside. Next, mince a piece of ginger. You want at least a tablespoon's worth. Chop about a quarter cup of fresh cilantro and set it aside as well. Place a dry skillet over medium heat and add half a teaspoon of fennel seeds and half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Toast until fragrant. Place a pound of ground chicken in a bowl. Add the toasted spices, the garlic and ginger, an egg, 1 cup of cooked brown basmati rice, the cilantro, a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of ground coriander, half a teaspoon of ground cardamom, and half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Mix everything together with clean hands. Form the mixture into meatballs using a tablespoon measure as a guide. Transfer the finished meatballs to a baking sheet and chill until ready to cook. Now, let's build the soup. Slice 3 shallots into half moons and set them aside. Next, peel and mince 3 cloves of garlic and set them aside as well. I promise that's the last of the garlic mincing. Mince another tablespoon's worth of fresh ginger and peel and slice 3 smallish carrots. Chop 2 stalks of celery, and finally, peel and dice a Granny Smith apple. You can use a different variety of apple if you prefer, but I like the little bit of sour that the Granny Smith brings. Place a heavy bottom pot over medium heat and add 2 tablespoons of neutral oil. Once the oil is shimmering, add the meatballs to the pot and brown them on all sides. You will likely have to work in batches. Don't worry about cooking the meatballs all the way through. We will finish them off in the soup. Add the shallots, celery, and carrots to the pot and sprinkle generously with salt. Sauté until softened slightly. Stir in the garlic and ginger and sauté until fragrant, about a minute more. Remove the veg mixture from the pot and set it aside. It's time to make a roux. Place 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter in the pot. Once the butter has melted, whisk in 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Add a tablespoon of tomato paste, a tablespoon of curry powder, and half a teaspoon of turmeric. Slowly whisk in 6 cups of low-sodium chicken stock. Making a roux gives the finished soup some extra body, so I wouldn't recommend skipping this step. Return the vegetables to the pot and add a can of drained and rinsed chickpeas, the apple you diced earlier, half a cup of golden raisins, half a cup of red lentils, and finally 2 bay leaves. Stir to combine and increase the heat. Bring the soup up to a boil before reducing the heat to low. Cover and simmer for 1 hour. When the hour has passed, check on the soup. The apple should have melted into the soup and the vegetables should be tender. Now open a can of coconut milk and remind your cat that just because it comes in a can, that doesn't make it tuna. Stir the coconut milk into the soup and return the meatballs to the pot. We're in the home stretch now. Leave the soup to simmer for 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes are up, the meatballs should be cooked through, but feel free to cut one open to check, and yes, you have permission to eat it. Chef's treat. Spoon the soup into bowls, making sure a hearty helping of meatballs is in each serving. Garnish the soup with Greek yogurt, thinly sliced cucumber, pomegranate arils, fresh mint leaves, and a few sprigs of fresh cilantro. And there you go, Chicken Meatball Mulligatawny Soup. Thank you for cooking with me and following along. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.